Hi! So today, of course, it's about these Suku holiday makeup kits. I have both of them, so we're gonna try them both today. For Suku's limited edition releases, the eyeshadow quads mostly have two color stories. One is cool and one is warm. Even though I wasn't a very big fan of cool tone eyeshadow, because of my very warm undertone, but I find recently their cool toned ones has almost pleased me more than the warm toned ones. So today I think I am gonna start with this cool toned one. It is the signature color eyes 110, and it is the kit A. Just from the swatch, I think it is the similar concept with their pre-holiday collection. Normally their quads has one shimmer topper shade, one satin or matte, and two shimmers, but their pre-holiday collection has one of these. It's not a topper, it's just a shimmer eyeshadow with a bunch of glitter, so it's very sparkling, but the shade is quite deep, so you couldn't really use it as a like shimmer topper. I just use it all over the lid. So this is the similar concept. It's different than their regular line, and I think the color story is pretty winter and holiday, and the two deeper shades are more pigmented and the lighter two shades are more sheer, more of a top coat kind of thing. So in this kit there is a Moon Gleam highlight and blush. It's basically a highlight and a cream blush in one. Let me swatch these as well. It's much more pigmented than I thought it would be, especially the cream blush. So yeah, that's that. And also there is one of their Comfort Lip Fluid Glow. I believe this is one of their permanent line, but this is just a limited edition color. And this is the swatch, much more pigmented than I thought it would be. It's like a full pigment, shiny liquid lipstick kind of thing. I'm really excited for this shade. Okay, now let's actually put them on our face. I'm thinking to use the eyeshadow quad at first, so I am gonna prime my eyelid using the MAC pen pot, setting this base with a little bit of a loose face powder. Every time I am using the Suku eye quad, I use the satin or the matte shade at first, so I am gonna do the same thing. It is quite a little bit powdery, so maybe pay attention on that. And it is very pigmented. It is super pigmented for a Suku eyeshadow. But actually their matte or satin shades, or I think it's all through their whole line, like every shade, it's just the lighter shades will almost be a little bit more sheer than the darker shade. The darker the shade is, the more pigmented they will make them. So this is definitely one of the pigmented ones, and it blends very beautiful. There's no patchiness of this one. Even they sometimes will make quite a colorful palette, it's still easy to use. Even though this shade is quite dark, it is still very easy to blend. And I'm thinking just putting a little bit of this on the lower lash line. Just a little bit. I am gonna layer this super beautiful purple, very glittery eyeshadow. This one is pretty powdery as well. Pay attention on the fallout. And it is very beautiful layering on this like purpley red shade. Oh, I really like their darker sparkly eyeshadow formulas. The pre-holiday collection, I love those two shades as well. It's super nice. The sparkle blends away a little bit, but you can still see them, and you can layer it with your finger, then the sparkle is more detectable. So I'm thinking to use the same shade to layer a little bit on the lower lash line. And since this formula just works better with finger, so I'm just doing like this. And that's one thing about Suku's eyeshadow. It's like, no matter how the eyeshadow looks like, I feel like you can always use your finger and the result won't be like very bad or anything. Sometimes it might even looks better than if you use a brush. Okay, it's a little bit messy on this eye, but I will fix this later. But this is just so pretty. Well, I haven't do a eye look this deep in a minute, but this is weirdly looking quite a variable as how deep it is. Okay, and I am gonna layer this gold shimmer shade on top a little bit to kind of make this a little bit more wearable and give some dimension. I'm basically just putting this on the center of my eyelid. And I think this one is the more like daily basis kind of shadow in this quad. Okay, it's very nice. Actually, I almost feel like I can use my finger with all of these shades. And then the topper shade. With this topper shade, I'm just gonna sheerly, loosely pat all over my eyelid to just give a little bit more sparkle to this eye. I feel like this sparkle glitter topper kind of shade, it has a little bit different texture or formula throughout all of the palettes. I think it will change, the formula will change depending on the color story of every palette. And I'm gonna use that gold shimmer shade a little bit on the inner part of my lower lash line. Maybe even a little bit on my inner corner. And it's looking very nice. Okay, I am gonna finish my eye look and come back. Okay, I have cleaned the edge a little bit and put on mascara and a little bit eyeliner. And I think this is one of my new favorite quad from Suku. It's super nice, and yeah, I don't know what to say other than I just really like this. It's so easy to create such a, well, intense for Suku, like a more intense smoky kind of look. It is very easy and you just don't have to be stressed for. So the next, let's just try this cream cheek product. I'm thinking since it's Suku, it probably works with your finger, so I'm just gonna apply with my finger, and I just don't want to be bothered with the brush. And it's blend nicely, but I feel like this is more of a drier cream blush formula, so maybe it's better to apply with a sponge. I am gonna try to take just a little bit, and it's super pigmented, so pay attention. Well, I would love to say they look pretty much the same, so maybe it doesn't really matter much what tool you use with it. And it's a super dusty pink nudie kind of blush, and it pairs very well with this eye look. And normally I'm not a big fan of dusty pink and mauve blushes, but I think this just has a little bit of the neutral warm tone in it, so it kind of works for me still. So now let's apply this highlight. This has a lot of like purpley blue kind of reflex in it, and it's quite a pigmented highlight. Don't know how I feel about this. It's like okay. It's not my favorite, I have to say, and this is not from that highlight, it's my foundation, and this, I don't know if you can even tell. Maybe this angle is better. This is from that highlight, and it's, I don't know how to describe it. It's mostly from the sparkle or the shimmer in this, so it doesn't really look like cream highlight. It looks like a powder highlight actually, and it's quite purple, which I'm not against the purple like iridescent kind of highlight, but this one is not my favorite. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is not my favorite kind of cream highlight. Just because it doesn't gives me the like the natural dewy look normally a cream highlight gives me. It's a little bit chunky, just a little bit. Like chunky in a way it looks like a powder highlight. Not super bad, but yeah, a little bit chunky. Maybe I can try to use in the inner corner. Oh, in the inner corner maybe you can see a little bit better of the tone. Yeah, because it's more of a powdery kind of finish, maybe it's more suitable for using in the inner corner rather than on the cheeks. Yeah, I think this is so far the only thing I'm not a big fan of in this kit. So now let's try the lipstick. I'm thinking like, firstly I want to just apply a light layer to see how that looks. So just this much. So this is a light layer. For a light layer, it mostly just looks like a brown. A brown with a hint of like dusty mauve shade. It still works quite nicely with this eye. But I'm thinking, because I am doing this eye pretty intensely, maybe it will clash with each other if I'm using this in a like full opaque kind of way. But just for trying this formula kind of purpose, I'm gonna try. Well, I don't hate it, like paired with this look, even in this kind of very opaque way. I think it's because it's not too bright. It's more of a toned down dark shade, and it's more brown than red, so it's like more of a calm shade, so it don't really clash with the eye too much. Yeah, I really like it. And actually the formula, it's actually not a very lipstick kind of like formula, like a more of a liquefied lipstick kind of formula. It's not like that. It's more of a very, very pigmented lip gloss. So it's very moisturizing, and when you press your lip together, it's a little bit sticky. So it's more of a gloss kind of formula. And if you don't like your lip product being sticky, maybe pay attention with this one, because it's a little bit sticky. But I don't hate that. It's just I don't think you can wear this with your mask. That's the only downside of this lip, because of course it's not transfer proof. But the color is so beautiful. I don't know if I have this kind of color, but I think it works very nice on my skin tone. I am a light medium warm olive skin tone, and it works very nicely because it has that warm brown. Yeah, I really like this. This is a very holiday look for me, especially the lip for some reason. So okay, since we tried this kit, I'm gonna take all of this off, which kind of hurts because it looks very nice. But I am gonna take this off and try the other one. I have swatched all of the shades. These two, the lighter shades, because I find it's more of a sheer formula, so I layered them a little bit, like about 3 layers, just for you to really see them on the camera. And the deeper shade is just one swipe, no layering. And also the cheek, cream cheek product, and the lipstick. This shade is super beautiful as well. Okay, so let's put them actually on our face. I'm using the same brush, but I cleaned this on a towel. Same with the other one. Let's put this matte shade all over our eyelid. Same formula as that wine shade. It's pretty pigmented and it's easy to blend. I want to say it looks like a satin in the palette, but it's actually a matte on the eyes. Because this formula is very easy to sheer out, I think you can do a little bit of a look with dimension just with this one shade. And it's very beautiful. I really like this orange shade. It is the kind of orange that I like. It's not very yellowy, but it's also not very red. It's more of a true warm toned orange. I think Suku does my favorite orange eyeshadows. Their summer limited edition palette has one of my favorite shimmery orange shadows. So of course this sparkly darker, I don't even know, it's like a blue, but it also looks like silver gunmetal kind of shadow. I'm just gonna apply this with my finger. Very pretty. And it's as dark as it is, it's not patchy. Maybe it's because I put that matte orange shade down first, but still, it blends very nicely even with finger. And I think, like I said with the other quad, it actually works better if you want to see all of those flags with your finger. The brush can blend away those sparkles a little bit more. And I think with Suku color combinations, it's weird that I feel like they often do a palette that it looks random. It looks like all over the place, like a taupe, a gold, orange, and like green gunmetal kind of shade. It looks all over the place, but it looks good together. So yeah, I don't know how they do that, but they have surprised me every time with their limited edition collection. I am just dipping the outer corner a little bit. And a little bit on the lower lash line as well. Look how easy that is. You don't even need a brush, just with your finger. Okay, I'm gonna put this taupe shade, like the same thing with the other palette, just on the center to give it a little bit of dimension, because now it's like almost dark everywhere. And it looks like it's quite a weird choice to put a taupe shadow in such an intense quad, but it actually blends very nicely with both of the orange and the blue. And now the last will be the gold glitter topper. This is a very holiday kind of look, like the greens, the brick orange, and the gold glitter. I want to put just a little bit of that orange shade in the crease, because I feel like it got covered a little bit by that green shade, and I still want this shade to show a little bit. Okay, I think it looks pretty nice. A little bit on the lower lash line as well. It's almost like blending the edge kind of thing. Okay. And also that taupe shade a little bit on the inner lower lash line. Eyes are done. Very nice. I feel like this one is more neutral than the other one. This cream part is more brown, and this part is more of a champagne gold. So let's see how it looks on the face. I'm just gonna use my finger. It's pretty nice. It looks like a dark brown in the pan, but it's more of a warm, like natural flush kind of color on my cheek. I think I like this color more than the other one in the last kit, just because I have a warm undertone, but that one is also very nice. I just prefer this kind of color. and it's not too brown when you blend it out. Because sometimes I feel like when a blush is too brown, it almost looks like you put bronzer on your cheek, and sometimes it even looks like you put dirt on your cheek. And this one is not. This is more of a brick brown, more of the lipstick in the last kit kind of color. Very nice. So now let's do this highlight. And this highlight is like the same thing with the last kit. It looks like a powder highlight on your cheek. It looks pretty nice on the camera, but in real life it's, I won't say dry looking, but it's definitely not very dewy looking. Like I said, it more looks like a powder highlight on the cheek, which I don't mind. I use powder highlight very often, but this kind of powder highlight looks like a satin highlight mixed with some shimmer and fine sparkles on it, which is not my favorite and not the look I want to get from a cream highlight. But with that being said, it's not like super bad or anything, it's still usable. It's just not amazing. It's just okay. And I'm also using this a little bit on the inner corner. Like, see, on the inner corner it always like looks better. Okay, maybe I just should put this formula on the inner corner, not on the cheeks. But it doesn't look bad, right? It doesn't look very bad. It's just not the most amazing formula. Of the lips, still the same thing. I'm gonna I'm gonna apply a very light layer at first. It's pretty nice. Just a hint of warm orange, like orange brown kind of color on the lip. It's pretty nice. I want to say this is quite a natural kind of look for the daily basis. It shears out pretty nicely and it doesn't look patchy, like all over the lip. It doesn't look patchy. And now let's apply a full layer. And this is a full opaque layer of that lip product. I think I like the color in the first kit a lot more. Not because there's anything wrong with this shade. It's still a pretty, like, a dirty kind of orange shade. I just think, I don't know, it has a little bit more of a yellow undertone than I would like. It's more of like a rotten cantaloupe kind of color. It's not my favorite kind of orange lip color. Like, my favorite kind of orange lip color is more of like a warmer, has a little bit more red in it, and this is, like I said, more of a yellow kind of undertone, so it kind of make me, like, washes me out a little bit, make my complexion look a little bit ashy. So I think for me, I will wear this one more in a sheer kind of way. Let me blot this one a little bit. I think this is much better. That tissue just take a lot of the product off my lip, and this one actually works much better. So since we have tried both of the kit, like every product. Actually, I want to say this round is the same with the last two limited edition collection. I like the cooler one a little bit more. Especially with the lip color. Like I said, this lip color is so pretty and so beautiful. I don't think I have loved a red shade this much recently, especially a glossy red. Most time the reds, the browns, if it's very glossy, it doesn't look good on me. But this shade, this brown brick kind of shade is so nice. And when I was taking off my makeup, I took off my eyeshadow first, and for some reason it still works. Like no eyeshadow and that very cool, like that very opaque shiny lip color still works together. So I think this will also works on the days when you want to look like you have makeup on, but you don't want to do much with your eyes. It still works for some reason. I really like this lip color. And the eyeshadow, like I said, very nice. Even though the sparkly eyeshadow is quite dark, it still blends super nicely on your eyes. I really like this kit. Other than that cream highlight. Like the cream blush I like. Very nice formula, very pigmented and easy to blend. You can just use your finger, but this highlight is usable. It's not like it's super bad that I couldn't use it. It's just not the most great, amazing cream highlight out there. It's not because of the color. I'm not that kind of person that I don't like a colorful highlight. If it looks smooth, looks dewy, looks very pretty on skin, I don't mind the little like shift it has. It's just the finish. It's not the kind of finish I like. It's not a highlight in a dewy kind of way, which will look very nice on your skin. This is just feels like a satin highlight mixed with some shimmer and a little sparkles in this when you apply on your face. So yeah, not my favorite, but it's usable. It's not the worst thing in the world. The kit as a whole, I just really like it. The kit B, I still really like this, but like I said, the lip color, if I wear it very full opaque, it's not my kind of color. But you see me apply it with a sheer layer or a more like full layer but blot it a little bit, it still works. It looks pretty nice. It's just not like the color in the other kit. No matter how I wear it, it looks good on me in every way. It needs a little bit of working with this color. If you are not a fan of that kind of like yellowy orange shade on your lip, this probably is not for you. And the cheek color, I prefer this color than the other color, but they are actually quite similar on your cheek. It's just this one is a tiny bit warmer, and this cream highlight is the same thing. It just doesn't look the best on my cheek. It's not my favorite kind of highlight. This palette is very pretty. I really like this kind of look. It's a very subtle kind of green this color gives. It's just a very colorful palette, but it's very easy to use. I think that's Suku's thing, that they, no matter it's more of a neutral shade or it's a very colorful shade, they make everything very easy to use. Even with the darker shadow, I can apply it with my finger, no problem. Every time they have a new limited edition collection, I just discover a new favorite eyeshadow quad from them. I'm super pleased with like every of their recent eyeshadow launches. They're so good. Because I am very very pleased with this lip formula and color. I might even pick up more in the future when we don't have to wear mask. Not that I am against the idea of wearing lipstick under the mask, because I don't care if other people see my makeup or not, it's just for me. But it's just, this is too glossy to wear under the mask. The mask will absorb it all. That's my thought. Love them, as always. Suku never, well, I won't say never, but 99% of the time, Suku don't let me down. Since they launched their signature color eyes collection in the beginning of this year, and now I think this would be the last launch in this year. I think I'm gonna do a video about full of this collection, like every quad they have ever launched in this line. Talk about my opinion on every quad, maybe even pick the top 3 in my preference. I think I'm definitely gonna do that. Thank you for watching. Bye.